creating and promoting a pro-business environment doesn't necessarily mean that we need to sacrifice transparency or efficiency. I think it means striking a balance of both. So, number one, I think it's important that we look at streamlining our permitting and zoning processes, modernizing or simplifying them by creating clear guidelines and reducing unnecessary barriers to development, I think will help us move our community forward. Public-private collaboration and partnerships, so engaging our stakeholders early and often. I think that we've seen with a lot of the controversy around some of our neighborhood developments that the lack of communication can really cause issues that really have ripple effects. So I think communicating early and often, making sure that we are clear and transparent with developers about our process, and informing everyone about what's happening along the way can help ease some of these issues that we've been seeing in the community.
Well, of course, it starts with hiring the right city manager that can work really, really well with our permitting division of the city, but also our planning department. So we really want to be able to hire a dynamic individual that can really support the teams that support the planning department, as well as BDS, who's in charge of permitting. Secondly, I think that we have to get the right people in place. I think we do have some really good folks in place with our Planning and Zoning Commission. I actually chair the committee that appoints individuals, or actually makes recommendations to the full council to appoint individuals to the Planning and Zoning Commission. And so I think that that's a key thing for transparency, because there's opportunities, say for instance, if you have applicants who are wanting to get a conditional use permit, or if you have an individual who wants to transform their residential property into a short-term rental. Most of that is going to be at the planning and zoning level now, and so having the right city manager in place that can coordinate and work with the right individuals, as well as being able to have the right individuals on the Planning and Zoning Commission.
I think when we're looking to achieve the goals of making sure that land use decisions and other associated decisions are fair, are transparent, are efficient, we need to make sure, I think, first to keep the goals in mind. We have very clear goals that are enumerated in the Ford SGF Comprehensive Plan that have been established by the community. We want to see more quality jobs for people. We need to see more housing options. We want to see growth in our community. And we have guidelines and direction in the plan for how we achieve those things. And so we need to make sure that we're making decisions and providing everyone involved in the process with fair certainty. The vision is out there, the guidelines are out there, the processes are clearly established, and it's our responsibility to make sure that we are following those, again, with the goal of achieving what we want to achieve based on our community's comprehensive plan. That means that we need to make sure that we're communicating, we need to make sure that we are listening, we need to make sure that we are staying true to our processes. And it also means that at the end of the day, that those of us on council need to make sure that we've heard everybody, but we are willing to make the right decision on each of these cases, even if it may not be the easy one. Because when we're looking at those decisions, they are oftentimes decisions that are going to have impacts that will last beyond the current generation. In terms of things like the availability of housing, in terms of things like the availability of jobs and how we grow as a community. And so I think part of that is council being able to make those tough decisions. And I think a big part of it too is making sure that we have the codes and processes that achieve those goals. And we have a real opportunity with the land use code overhaul that we're working through right now based on Ford SGF that I think will have a real positive impact.
So one of the things I think about here is the experience of the people on City Council and the Planning Commission and how they make some of these decisions. One of the things I'm bringing to the table is my history of working on projects all over the country in multiple cities as an architect, as a real estate developer. So bringing that expertise and experience and broad brushstrokes to the table is very important. I really think each project, each opportunity should be treated with its own unique character and qualities. Sometimes we just look at these projects and look at the numbers and say, yes, this looks good. But I think you have to look at how that project specifically impacts the immediate surroundings. And so using those opportunities to have the conversations about how projects impact their surroundings is really important. We also have a consultant that we've hired from to generate our new land development code, kind of talked about this early on in the process. We have a certain boundary and certain number of square feet and certain number of acres within our city. We need to generate the highest crop yield per acre we can in a farmer's format. And that means trying to see what projects provide us the best long-term sales tax and property tax without impacting all the things that we really love about our city. And so again, looking at arterial corridors and the downtown districts, and even within the neighborhoods. Sometimes neighborhoods want to see things happen within their neighborhood for neighborhood services and different things. And so I feel like it's all on the table, and now's the time to be thinking about it. We're at a pivotal moment in our city's growth pattern, and it's time to be thinking more like a small city than a big town.